Hey everybody, it's BDF44. So I'm coming at you with a video, quite frankly, because I have to wait for my sink to get fixed. So I figured I'd wait a little time, waste some time and talk to everybody on here. So I hope you all are having a great day. I really had nothing to say, man. I just pressed record, figured whatever. But as of right now, the last I heard in the NBA was that Kawhi Leonard has been accused of more or less playing the Lakers, which is no shock to anyone. His people say that that is not the case. The Lakers and the Raptors, respectively, have made it known to certain reporters that, or what have you, who knows who they actually told this to, and who was actually speaking, but they feel like they got played. And Uncle Dennis, the famous Uncle Dennis, is more or less being accused of asking for a lot of things from the respective teams that were supposed to be on hand for Kawhi Leonard. Now, here's the deal. I don't mind, if I'm being completely honest. I don't mind. Why? For three reasons. The first reason is this, and I've said this in another video in regards to Kawhi Leonard. With what he's been through, with the Spurs, the injury, I think he's more aware of how temporary his career can be. I mean, not temporary in the sense that it's not going to work out, but I'm just saying, like, life is short, life is temporary, all careers end within 20 years or less, more or less. He understands, what he has to do in terms of seizing the moment. So if his representatives are trying to get the most out of these teams during the duration of his prime, one of the most important free agency periods of his time, then so be it. As much as they take from these players, I mean, if we were to dig deep into everything that goes on, we would find that owners are making a boatload of money off of these players, and the players are only getting a fraction of that. So if Uncle Dennis wants a home, you got to understand, this is the part that made me kind of not really care about this. The Toronto fan base, Toronto as a whole, was offering real estate to Kawhi, free food to Kawhi, and all different types of perks that were otherwise more or less something that if you were to ask for it would be a problem. So if someone sets a precedent, Toronto says, all right, I'm going to give you the world and a half, I'm going to naturally turn to the Lakers and say, match that. I'm going to naturally turn to the Clippers and say, match that, because that's good business. Now, I could see if there weren't these offers on the table ahead of time from Toronto, and I know that that's a leverage thing. That's not really in good faith when someone's giving you something because they're trying to get you to stay, and then you use that as a means of trying to leverage yourself out of there. That's not in good faith. That's not in a good spirit, but in the spirit of business and in the spirit of trying to make sure you get all that you're worth, you damn right you're going to use those perks and those offers as a means of gaining leverage, because everyone is using leverage against you. So I am not mad at Uncle Dennis under those specific circumstances. Toronto's offering homes, free food forever, and who knows God what else, everything. Drake is offering different aspects of his company, however that was supposed to go. I don't know what he offered Kawhi in that regard, but Kawhi was set to be affiliated somehow with OVO. I mean, that's leverage, man. I don't know if Toronto realized they were handing leverage over to Kawhi in regards to using that against the other two LA teams or what have you, but it's leverage. Now the other teams are forced to match that in order to get my services. So how am I going to be mad at Uncle Dennis for that? How can I, in my right mind, be mad at Kawhi's camp for trying to make sure that they can get everything that is offered to them? I don't want to be in Toronto, right? Don't want to be there. But they're offering more than the Lakers and the Clippers. So at this point, it's like, all right, Lakers and Clippers, ante up. Ante up. My deal is good. My deal is great over there. I'm not going to take no shorts from y'all. That's my attitude. That would be my attitude in the business. I ain't taking no shorts. I'm not doing you guys no favors. Toronto's offering this number. Either you give me that or more than that, or you don't have my services. So that's what I think essentially took place in that situation. And that's how I view it. Now, if it comes out that there's more to it than that, or if it turns out things didn't quite line up the way I just said they did, then maybe we can take another look at it. But if it lines up the way I said it did, in my opinion, there's nothing to talk about. Clippers need to give whatever Toronto was willing to give. That includes homes, real estate, stakes in the company. Get your celebrity friends to help out with whatever type of side business deals they can throw in my way. You know, if Steve Ballmer has a stake in his company that he wants to share with me, like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Because when I say a player's career is temporary, look at Carmelo Anthony. How much leverage does Carmelo have right now? 7 years ago, he had the world at his fingertips. Had the choice between a max contract with the Lakers and a max contract with the Knicks. Now, he can't even get on a team. Your leverage disappears quickly. Your career disappears quickly when you're in the NBA. And you could be a star one day, and you could be washed up and done tomorrow. Look at Boogie. Boogie's still a young man. All it took was one injury to snatch away all of his leverage in this league. And we've seen it happen to countless other guys too. So, yeah, this is the one and only time Uncle Dennis can ask for the world and be certain that they would have to at least consider giving it to him. You got dang right he need to ask for every bit of it. Ask for everything. Ask for the world. Because it's the only time you're going to have the opportunity to do it. See, the NBA, the leagues, and the owners, they got a lifetime to push their leverage and billions of dollars behind them. Players, you better get in while you hot, brother. Get everything you can while you hot. Because if one twist of a knee and it's over, you know, and your family can't never get that opportunity to get that kind of money ever again, or what have you. Nah. So if y'all want me to get on here and bark at Uncle Dennis for wanting to get perks from the league in a time where Kawhi is hot, please. That ain't never going to happen. And I feel the same way, just to segue that into something else, I feel similar in regards to the NCAA. Don't tell me these kids are wrong for wanting to sell their own images when you're selling their images and you're selling their jerseys, and you're slapping them on all kinds of different commercials and stuff to sell your program, and doing all kinds of deals on the side on their behalf. And then you're going to try to guilt trip them and turn it into something as if they're doing wrong when they're asking for some payments? That never seemed right to me, even as a child watching the NCAA, hearing them talk about, oh, so-and-so took money. And what is the colleges? What are the collegiate programs doing? What is the NCAA doing but taking money? So it's okay when they do it, but it ain't okay when a child does it, and he's the one running around putting his body on the line for their program? No part of that makes sense. That's a norm that isn't normal. We accept certain things that we shouldn't in this life. I've noticed that. The older I get, the more I realize some of the stuff that we just nod our head to is absolutely bizarre and ridiculous. And if we were to zoom out a little bit, we would realize how ridiculous it is. The NCAA and their guilt-tripping / condemning of young people for wanting to make money off of their own images is a norm that isn't normal. And quite frankly, it's absolutely and utterly criminal in my mind. It's criminal, and it always has been. And now that the people are starting to realize it, I'm glad that there are other avenues for these talented people to go overseas, different leagues, G League, to kind of give them another opportunity to continue their careers in basketball without having to go the, I'm going to take money out of your pocket, you better not ask for any route. That is the NCAA. And I have no respect for how they do it. And I think there should be some way for these kids to market themselves, make as much money as they can possibly make, and those guys can still make their money too off these kids as well. So that's my opinion about the NCAA. That's my opinion about the situation with Uncle Dennis, and that's my opinion in any and every situation. If someone's making money off your back, and then they turn around and make rules so that you can't make that same money off of your own back, you need to get out of that situation. You're being robbed, you're being taken advantage of, you're being hoodwinked, bamboozled, screwed with, and all that. So that's my opinion. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective as it pertains to me being a non-athlete, a talking head, and somebody that's not in those circles. But at the same time, I feel very passionately about what I just said, and always have. Get your money, people. Know your worth, and let's continue to work together. Try to make this thing better, this entire sports ecosystem a better place. Anyway, peace out, everybody. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.